This is Indra Gurung, the guy who said this beautiful statement: we shamans are from the time before religion. Religions are for those who cannot see. And you see, this is a typical shamanic dress, and they dress themselves like this to show the people that they are ready to travel into the other world. In normal, during the day, they usually don't wear the shaman's costumes and they don't go into trance. Into trance they go usually only in the night, because in the night there's the demons around, and they are very important for healing, because you travel in the other world and you talk to the demon, you give him a little offering of some schnapps or something, and because they're greedy, they take everything and then they have to deliver some information. So they are important. You have heard of the Yeti, the abominable snowman. That is, of course, not an animal or a pre-human being. That is originally one of the shaman's gods. The real name is Banjhakri. That means the shaman of the forest. So therefore, nobody will ever find the Yeti in nature, because you have to go in trance and then you can find the Yeti easily. The Banjhakri, the wild man or the wild shaman, the forest shaman, he wears a skin of a deer, of this deer, and that is supposedly a symbol of this mushroom.
We have to travel back and explore an age of secret societies and initiations, a time when supernatural creatures stalked the forests and men went in search of cannibal spirits. Amongst the Kwakiutl people, one of the great passages of life was to become a hamatsa, a person who had successfully walked the fine line between the world of the living and the spirit realm.
There was always just a thin veil between our mortal world and the spirit world. In the old days, when this young man was taken into the woods, he fasted and he prayed. During his initiation, the young hamatsa would come face to face with Bakbakwalanuksiwik, the cannibal spirit at the north end of the world. And it was at that point that he began to learn that there was more than one dimension to his existence, that there was a spiritual dimension as well. After the initiations in the wilderness were done, there were ceremonies that enticed hamatsa to come back. His first appearance, he would shriek a terrifying shriek that embodied all of the wildness in the soul and the spirit. The things that he had come to face and to learn while he was in solitude.
The Tsonoqua can be male too.
Oh
yes. It's a people.
Yeah.
Yes, it's mostly female, but they can be male.
I think the people up north, they got stories. The people in Saanich, they got stories. We all seen wild people. Like people today, they don't believe those stories. They say that it's made up, you know. But I think that our people seen wild women and wild men, and I think the Kwakiutl people seen wild women and wild men, and I think the people that live in Saanich seen wild women and wild men. And the difference is, I guess, is just how they seen those people that's in the bush.
The Tsonoqua is an antisocial being, and even more, its main part in the mythology is kidnapping of children. That is, instead
of bringing the ancestors to the lineage, taking away the descendant. And in the Tsonoqua, there is also something hanging, which is not the tongue, but the breast, which are always hanging breast, and this is very much emphasized in the literature. Tsonoqua was a play a part in the winter ceremonial, if I'm not mistaken, in a minor society, but nevertheless a society in its full right. The mouth of the Tsonoqua can be described as having pursed lips, as a matter of fact, to explain that it cries hoo, something of the kind. I don't know.